So if you're an audiophile, you know that the quest to try to find the best listening experience can get rather expensive rather quickly. Now, I'm not really a huge audiophile. I mean, I mix and record music and all that kind of stuff, but as far as just general listening experience, I mean, I'm okay with just listening to stuff in the car, but I do get the idea of wanting to listen to something on a nice like tower speaker with really nice speakers in it, and just the build quality is nice, and you know, your amp and stuff is all tuned and it's just perfectly EQ'd. I understand that. But the thing is, I don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to try to get that experience. But let's say you're in that boat and you blew most of your budget on the speakers. Now you need an amp to get the music playing, to get the air moving, to get that sound that you're looking for, but you don't have a lot of spare cash left after dropping it on those nice speakers. What do? That's where something like this would come in handy. This is the Moukey MAMP1. This is a hybrid power amplifier, and I'm not gonna go into too many specs on it because quite frankly, I don't know anything about the internals of it, but I can tell you that it is rather affordable, and it's a great way for you to get into exploring that audiophile journey if you did, like I said before, and blew all your money somewhere else. Or you just need a quick option, or maybe you're just getting into it. Maybe you just need to find a way to get into it. I think that the MAMP1, the MAMP1 is how it's spelled, is a great option for anybody looking to get into it, or if you need a budget-friendly option just to add to your collection, I guess. Your setup, that's the word I was looking for. I did forget to mention one thing. This video is sponsored by Moukey, but I got in contact with my Donner contact and they're the ones that sent it to me. So somehow, some way, Donner and Moukey are connected. So if you want to pick up this product, you should be able to go on to Donner's website, there's a link in the description, and use the code Flamingo at checkout for 15% off your order. I'm not gonna promise you that with this specific product, but just because of the connection there, you might be able to. So why don't you go down there and click the link and try it out? You never know. So this thing's really kind of nifty. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the back here, just kind of show you what is entailed with the MAMP1 is what I'm gonna call it from here on. So you just plug it into the wall, nice and simple there. You have two audio inputs here. You have DVD and CD, these are RCA ports. You have a line out here. You have an FM antenna port right here, so you can put an antenna on there. It does have an FM radio built in there, so you can do that too. You have your two speaker outs here, left and right. Some information on the back about all that stuff. It looks like it's 4 to 16 ohm speaker impedance, so you have pretty much the entire range of speakers to choose from there. Going to the front, you have a lot of different buttons and knobs and switches here. Power on and off there. You have an SD port, you have a USB port, headphone jack, mic 1 and 2 jacks there, your mic volume knob, an echo knob, a 2-band EQ, excuse me, so bass and treble there, balance left and right to change between the left and right speaker if you want to balance it out or whatever. You have an input selector next to your aux port here, so you have your DVD, your CD, your aux, and then your Bluetooth, MP3, and FM right there, so you pick whichever source you're using and that's what'll get the air moving there. You have a mode button, a Bluetooth button, you have your channel to switch between your channels, your pause play, your folder track selection knob here that also acts as a button, and then your master volume with your bright little display right here. So very, very simple to use. I know it looks like a lot, but it's all spelled out pretty nice. You just select your source and then turn the volume up and you're good to go. Now it does also come with a nice little remote. So you have things where you can, I guess, change the station. If you're listening to the FM, you can change it with the numbers there. You have your volume buttons there, pause play, forwards and reverse, your channel buttons there. You can change the EQ. I think it has 6 EQ settings on it, so you can change those just to based on whatever you're listening to. Power button there. I don't know what that button does. Looks like an undo button, but hey, you know, and then a mode button up there. So we'll test all that out too once we get this thing going. Now, based on other reviews that I looked up on this thing, because I'll be honest with you, I don't have the setup required for this, but I can still use it because it's marketed as a karaoke kind of thing. Now I do host karaoke nights sometimes. It's very few and far between. I don't have an event coming up now where I can actually put it to a real world test, but I'm just gonna show you how it works with the setup that I got. And I'm gonna use it with some music here, but I'm gonna do it in a way that I've not seen anybody else really do it with. That's with an SD card. So I put some songs on here, all copyright free because they're things that I wrote and recorded on this SD card, and we're just gonna put it in there and show you that It does work. It does sound good. Again, it's gonna be on a bit of an unconventional setup, but just to show you that it works with pretty much whatever you got. So that being said, let's plug it in, put the SD card in, get listening to some music. All right, so I've got the setup here that will make every audiophile out there, newer, experienced otherwise, probably wanna hang themselves. Because this is not conventional at all, but this is what I got. I would love to try to find a way to make this useful for my applications where I'm recording, but I digress. So this is what I got. I got the Moukey MAMP1 plugged up here. I do have a Donner cable running into my Donner MT1, which is just a portable battery powered speaker that I got here. And so far I've had pretty decent success with it. So here's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna turn it on, and you can probably see the little display there light up. It's probably gonna go straight to USB. Don't know why, but I digress. So we're gonna take the SD card and just put it in there. Now it won't click, so it's gonna stick out a little bit. So if you push it in there like that, it's gonna recognize SD, and then it should start playing the song immediately. So we're gonna turn up the master volume here a little bit. So you can hear there it is playing the song, sounds fine. The speaker sounds really good, but obviously I think some of it's gonna come from this. But you can turn the volume up on the unit from the amp. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. So from what I've understood, there's two separate volumes. You have the master volume and then you have the regular volume here. So I've heard that if you turn the volume down on here to like a 10, 15, something like that, we'll turn to 15, and then take the master volume, crank it up. Obviously you can right, and then if you don't max out one or the other, then you can turn it up really, really loud, because apparently this thing has a lot of power to it. But yeah, I mean, for an overall like experience of setup and everything, I mean, I've got it paused right now, but pause play like that. You can turn the volume up again on the remote. If you want to change your EQ settings, like I said, you can hit EQ. You hear that one's a little darker, a little brighter, really dark, a bit brighter. So you have a flat setting, and then you have 5 different EQs. So you want to say 6, whatever. And then again, you have the bass and treble controls there, which do work rather well. So if we turn this back up, so you can hear that, yeah, the EQ is very, very flexible on this thing, which is always something that's great, especially for someone that likes to listen to music. You know, maybe something's a little too boomy, turn that bass down. I mean, you can dial out pretty much all of the bass just by turning that knob all the way to 0. It's actually really cool. And then, like I said, you have the option to balance it out between left and right speakers, since you do have the left and right outs on the back there. And there's a million different ways you can hook this thing up too. Like I said, I'm trying to think of a way that I could use this in my day-to-day, because having this little bit of extra power kind of going on, if I could find a way to hook it up to my recording settings, or my recording setup, excuse me, that'd be really cool. But otherwise, this is made for, you know, like I said, karaoke stuff, because that's what it's advertised as. I mean, it says it right there on the front, digital karaoke amplifier, which if I had an event coming up recently, I would absolutely try to take this out. I think it would do the job very, very well, just because it's got those mic ports on it and everything. But again, I digress. I think this thing's really cool. So again, if you're a budding audiophile, if you happen to have a studio setting and you want to try to use this for something, or if you're a DJ like I am on the side, or even as full-time and you run karaoke events, or you need something with a lot of power to it to get those speakers moving with all kinds of air, check out the Moukey MAMP1, M-A-M-P-1, whatever it is. Again, there's links in the description, and since there is that affiliation with Donner somewhere, somehow, I think they're like a sub-brand, or maybe Donner's a sub-brand of Moukey, I'm not entirely sure. But either way, check the link in the description, and if you use the code Flamingo at checkout, you may be able to get 15% off your order on this. Definitely on this, the MT1. This is a really great little portable speaker. I use this thing all the time. But with that being said, there's the MAMP1. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a like if you did. don't know what I was gonna say there, but I do know what I'm gonna say. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Y'all be safe out there.